Hi, this is Lynn Schneider with Educating with Wisdom, and I am the ambassador for Heaven's creating and protecting goddesses and archangels over life. Good morning, or good afternoon, I should say. It's good afternoon. This is 4/11/2026, and it's 3:22 p.m. Florida time, which is Eastern. Here is the website that we are at. This is Enhancing Public Trust, and in this short video, I hope it's short, I'm going to recap mostly for the Law Society, for the Canadians and for the Law Society, the Florida Inspector Generals, why Florida is such a dangerous place for whistleblowers. Very briefly, because I've already covered this before. The Inspector General's office and the Inspector Generals used to be educated and certified by an outside body. And I've already done a few videos on that one. This was out of state. Chicago had them, New Jersey had them, and this particular body had something called the Green Book. I contacted them when I got my Inspector General's case back in 2015 or 2016. I contacted them, showed how Florida was breaching all of its procedures, including the Florida Commission on Human Relations, but the Inspector General, and said, well, and they sent me the Green Book. When I looked over it, I then went back to them and said, what is your discipline for doing this? And they said, there is no discipline. Since this time, over the last, over the last 9 years, no, not 9 years, it would have been over the last maybe 6 or 7 years between that period of time. So this organization no longer exists, and Florida has no third party whatsoever. This is all done by their law enforcement branch. So there is no one who could potentially be on the outside looking at the level of fraud that goes on. Again, you can see it's FloridaOIG.com. I'm going in, and at that point, when this outside organization was still educating and certifying the Inspector Generals, they not only did they have the Green Book, but of course it was a different location and a different contact. So since then, here we go, let's go into contacts. And at this time, even going back to 2015, 2016, there were more IGs in the state of Florida than there were in the rest of the country put together. All of these are supposed to be safe whistleblowing areas. After I whistleblew regarding G4S, and also part of it pertained to Palm Beach County, when they shut my case down and would not let me go into the tribunal because they shut down my computer, whoever was monitoring me shut down my computer, my school computer got access to my bank accounts. It was a mess. So I couldn't go forward with anything. And the school district of Palm Beach County at this time in March of 2013 got an Inspector General. All of these organizations means that no one is safe whistleblowing. Florida is in control of everything. No one has any safety whatsoever. I'm going to take a moment and go into a G4S piece that I sent them when they were firing me, talking to them about what was going on, because I knew part of the problem was whistleblowing. I know part of it was the end of they had an accreditation period that they had approved that they had certain things in place, including certified teachers. I was the certified teacher. I was their major umbrella. And they let me go as soon as that occurred. There were several things that happened when they let me go. But let's go on and take a look now also for the Canadians, the Cambridge. I probably should have done this first. I probably should have done the Cambridge program first. So what happened is that Cambridge International had a few academic programs, had a few secondary high school programs in the state. The state had gone more towards IB. Somewhere in the 2000s, late 2000s, they began to move things over into a Cambridge system, and there were different Cambridge systems. Well, now, At that point, there were, I don't know, maybe 50 programs, maybe 25 programs. Now there are hundreds and hundreds of Cambridge programs. I'm just going to reject all for now. So I'm just going to let you take a look if you're from Canada. Here we go. Let's go to Canada. Chile, Chile, Canada. Search city. We'll go to select a city. This is a big one. So we're going to pick Toronto. Search. 3 centers. Okay. Ontario. Well, Ontario's quite a few. Should be quite a few. Just that one. So this is the Cambridge program in Canada. I'm just going to look at New Zealand. Well, let me go back to New Zealand. Here we go. I need to be or do a better job at this. Well, where's New Zealand? I guess New Zealand. There we go. Don't have my glasses on. What's the city? Oh, they have more here. Queenstown. Oh, they have a whole bunch here. So let's see what Christchurch has. Search. This is what we have in New Zealand. They've added quite a few. They didn't used to have all of these. Queenstown. Let's go to Australia. This is, here we go, Australia. And that's all of it. Let's go to Canada. Let's go to the United States. Select a state. Just a thought. Before we even get to Florida, and they've added a few, let's just look at California. That's it. For all of California, select a city. Placentia. That's it. So it just goes and shows this to you. I'd like to get Chicago. Oops. In the United States, I want to leave it into the US. Well, let's take a look at the District of Columbia. It should be have as much as the area around. District of Columbia, that is, select a city. That's it. British International School of Washington. New York. Remember, New York has a regent program. Select a city. All of New York. Select a city. I haven't selected a city. This is it. Select a city. Oh, it's Ozone Park. Let's see which one shows up for Ozone Park. That's the one that shows up for Ozone Park. All right. Let's go to Florida. Whoops, I want to stay in the US. Excuse me. Okay. It's going to get complicated. You can't even begin to understand. So for all of Florida, this is serious, folks. Now, there was maybe, I don't know, 25 to 50 programs in the state. Not even, maybe 25. Now we have this. And it's still has a horrible education system. I'm not done. There we go. All right. I think I made my point. Pam Bondi was the Inspector General. Actually, she was over the DOJ when I was whistleblowing for the most part. She and I had brought the suit together against G4S in 2011 through, and then I tried to bring the suit forward and close it up. Later, 5 years later, I went to I went all over. I have been to more than 25 lawyers. I have been to the ACLU 3 times, but they couldn't take the case. It may have been because of the leaning towards coming under the NSA. I don't know, but to understand, but G4S at that point was the world's largest private security operator in the world. It was had over 600, like 650,000 people in it, internationally put. Everybody was in everybody's business. They had people from all the various Commonwealth and other countries working for them, so that it was basically, what one person knew, somebody else 3 over found out about, and then they spread it around. So there was no possibility of protection over what was happening here. And Florida had privatized much of its system. The children's programs were all privatized. And what happens with privatization is that they stop providing services because they have to be able to skim off. G4S was the largest trading company on the London Exchange. It was a big time thing. They were all over the place with their prisons and with their services, with their security. It was Godsmack. And I was advocating that, at least for the children, that the kids themselves still come under the state system and that certain things are provided for the children under the state system. Pam Bondi, except that I gave a 3-year moratorium that nobody gets charged. This is inconsequential considering all of the damage she has done to humanity. Pam Bondi was involved with, when she left, given her support for private prisons, given everything she did, why would she go in and become a major lobbyist for private prisons? And I haven't gotten into the economic aspects of skimming off of all public monies, including and also looking at what parents do, what families did, how everything has been skimmed off and put into private hands, how they've destroyed the entire system and literally made you dependent and stupid. So here is Pam Bondi, and she went right out and became a major lobbyist for private prisons. Now, I was the one who went after the DJJ, the Department of Juvenile Justice, and while I was busy whistleblowing and being retaliated against, Pam Bondi, I'm quite sure that was a slip. I'm quite sure knew what was going on. So this is her. Incredible. Just incredible. Okay. I'm going to come here because we're going to look at COVID, and I just want to show people that when I discuss COVID, I have some 2 major British people. I have a dark horse that I look at. This gentleman here, I will be citing. There are others that I will be citing, and I've been looking at the COVID as well as the shots since early 2020, knowing where it came from. So please do not tell me I'm racist. On top of other things. Let's put you on pause. Well, I think I have to go into AOL. Let me see if I have it. It's not that easy for me to get into AOL now. So I think I have to put us on Yahoo. I'm supposed to be in Chrome, and Yahoo takes over everything. In order for me to have Google, I have to go into something else. So let's see if I can get into login. I have to do it from here. I don't really care because everybody does this. I don't know if they'll let me sign in because, no, I have to create my own, so you can't see this. So what I'm going to do is just stop here. Unless I can do this here. Let me see if I can do it here. I don't, I keep the AOL just for legal document reasons, and I have to go in and clean it all out. They take things when they want it, so let's go in here. Yeah, you're gonna see a lot of crap come up when I send me. Oh, it was, okay, let's see. Let's go into the inbox. STRACHAN. Let's see, this needs to come from my home address. No, nope, I cannot do this here right now. So, oh, no, I'm gonna leave. I just want to go out of that one out. All right, so that's it for now, and I will send to the Law Society those things that need to be sent to them. I will also put this other thing up online regarding Streckham. And then I can edit to this. That's what I need to do. Okay, bye-bye. Hi, thank you. Bye-bye. Hi, this is Lynn Schnebley. And what is this about? This is not what I want to do. I went in, I finally got into my AOL account. So let's look at it from the Canadian perspective. We just left the other originally. Thank you. The Streckham. Here we go, November the 4th. I will thank you. You are correct in saying that the business submission should probably not be sent off with my responses. So this is a different issue, but I did go through all the steps and responses, which is what they claimed in their FCHR that I have never done. All right, regarding businesses, because I really was interested in private, I was interested in doing the counseling aspect. So in here, I go into all of the DJJ, all of these plans that are here, how to use when they go through the DJJ to get their IEPs so that they can get additional services, as well as for a short while they would be put on something with emotional disorders. A lot of these girls had been abused. Most of them were on drugs, the drugs that they were giving them. There was almost no counseling going on. So I spoke to them about how G4S could actually set up an ESE IEP 504 umbrella for which they could be getting additional funding from the federal government and the state government, but especially the federal government, that would actually help the kids and bring more services into them, which would prevent them from the recidivism. I just pronounced that wrong. Recidivism. The development of an alternative education curriculum to uniform higher standards and cut down on waste and inconsistency. This would be used. A development of an alternative education curriculum. When I grew up in New York State, I moved quite a bit around the state. I have academic New York State diploma. What they did, so the British have international experience. So they went through maybe 25, 30 different schools in Florida at that time, and they exploded it. So rather than G4S getting involved in terms of setting up various curriculums that could also deal with trade and all these other things, they just imploded with the British system. They didn't do any of these things. They could have gone in and used the New York State diploma system. They could have gone in and done all of these things. And now we're going to look at some of the things regarding cognitive behavior, some of the things that they had there. And the use of cognitive behavior, I'm looking at putting it into the core curriculum. So these were all very viable business options, and some of these things I could have done on my own, other things they could have been a part of, and that was before I even got to a mediation program, which when they picked up with that in January and February of 2012, they set up a mediation program for the courts in Florida in which they tied up the hands of labor lawyers so that labor lawyers could not go out and work against anyone that was actually retaliating with their buddies. And that's what they did. So they went through and they blocked everything that I had been involved in and just made the place a cesspool of evil. That's what they did. So I think the Canadians should know about this. And this was very much in Pam Bundy's group. Let's come back here for a moment. And regarding my submissions, they sent me forward. I sent you the header. This part needs to come from my home address. And I immediately got an out of office from them. So there we go. Looking at what went on in New Zealand. So I discussed some of this prophecy and how I did not want people showing up, just showing up. And there's and here up, there it is. So let me come out of this. Everybody, thank you so much for your patience. Hope you have a good day.